What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. They just dropped a patch here in Dune Awakening today involving character transfers. So, we're going to talk here real quick about what it is, why you would want to do it, or why you maybe don't want to do it, and some pitfalls to avoid to keep yourself from getting in trouble. But this was patch 1.2.40.0, etc. But it deals strictly with transferring your character. It allows you to transfer your character's inventory, anything that you've backed up as far as bases and vehicles, the bank contents, everything, from the current Sietch and world server that you're on to an entirely different one. So the question is, what does this involve and why would you want to do this? So let's get into it. All the magic happens with a device called the base reconstruction tool. In the iron products under construction, you'll find it. I had never made one, so we actually got to spend the 2 research intel points in order to make one. And you can see it comes out of a general fabricator or a survival fabricator, not the advanced versions. But basically, this tool is takes your base and miniaturizes it like Ant-Man or something. Please don't sue me, Marvel. And allows you to stick it in your pocket and take it to another world server or another siege and just plop it right back down as if that was always there. So we're going to go ahead and make one here. They aren't expensive. It's only 10 iron ingots, no other materials. And we're not going to give it a try. I'm not quite there yet, but I do want to have one just in case we do get to that point. But from here, you just run on, outside of your base and scan it, and it will make that miniaturized copy version of it, and you can then go to another siege or another server and plop this down. Now, why does this matter, and why did they make this? What's the whole point of all this? When you first load up the game, instead of hitting continue, if you click on the servers button, it's going to show you all the world servers. Now, these are all separate and different. Mine are all North America region because that's where I'm at, so I wanted the lowest ping. But you'll see here on Pelisadar, if I'm saying it correctly, this is where I live. And this is where my level 195 character is. I've got some friends here, but it is a low population server. I can go to any one of these sieges with my character. I just load up whatever equipment items I want to bring, and I can go to the world map, click on this server button, browse this, and then just by picking one, I can click the join button, and it'll plop me over into there, and then I can go find my friends. We can go do stuff together. I can go farm items that, once I've cleared it in my own area, I can then go to another siege and it'll have respawned and I can grab some. I do that a lot for the irradiated slag to make some fuel cells. But within my world server, I can go to these other sieges. And as you see, I've got some friends in different sieges. And I can go do stuff with them. And it's not an ideal system. It's a little cumbersome, and it's kind of, click, 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 transfer, do whatever. But it's kind of all right. But when you see these other world servers, let's just pick one here. I think we'll go, Acheron. If I try to go here, you'll notice my character's gone. So in order to go to this world server, I would be starting over. It doesn't delete my original character, but I'll click on join, and then I get a cutscene where, it's that day one. There's me in my underwear with, trying to find flowers to survive with the water again. So to go to a different world server, you don't bring anything that you previously had since you started playing the game. And that's kind of a rough way to handle things. My guild that I was part of, they actually all migrated to a different world server, and I ended up staying behind. So, it's basically watching friends just disappear. But the reason I think that they are doing this server transfer is because we've got server migrations, the merging, coming up real soon. And this kind of seems like a precursor. It's kind of a way for us to clean up a little bit of the mess on our side before they do it on theirs. What I mean by that is we're going to collect ourselves together. We'll follow friends who went to some other place, or we can bring everybody, because if your guild is on 6 different Sietches, everyone can move over onto one. Personally, when I realized this, I was unwilling to move because I was going to leave everything behind. My guild was even like, "Hey, don't worry, we'll give you everything that you had," and I'm kind of like, "That's kind of defeating the purpose because this is my stuff." So I think they're solving that problem, which is going to help us kind of congregate into better groupings. So when server migration comes, it'll be a lot easier process for them to pull off. That's my 2 cents. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't have any inside tracks at Funcom, so maybe that's not it. But that's how I see it, and that's what I see from my viewpoint. I think another reason this is really valid is most of the guilds that you join, you're going to meet these people out in the deep desert, which is all of the Sietches of a world server combined. So you join up with these people, and you're like, "Hey, let's go out, let's do this," and then you find out that they're on completely different Sietches than you are. So it's a good way to collect everybody together that's already in a group. I want to talk real quick about some of the pitfalls and concerns I have with this process, though. This is my base here. It's been a work in progress. But several months I've been in this location. But I built this base here and expanded on it, made changes. If I were to try to scan it and move it someplace else, I'm going to want to make sure I put it in the exact same spot that I'm in here right now. If I put it on, say, a different slope or a different angle, is that going to put the desert in spots where I've got a machine or a box or something like that? I don't know the answer to that question. And what happens if I transfer to another server and I'm like, "All right, let's do this," and I go to do it, and then I come here and there's already a base sitting in the exact spot I'm in? Am I going to be able to find level ground to place my base so that everything's where it's supposed to be? Another concern is vehicles. Right here you'll see with the scan tool, I'm at 7 out of 10 vehicles. You can only have 10, and I know I have more than that, and you can't transfer vehicles unless they're in your scan tool. Now, a workaround for that is you can go to a box, not that one, and not this one either, but third time's a charm. Here is my old Mark V Assault Thopter, completely disassembled, stuck it here in this box. I could put this thing together and, be off and in the air relatively quick. Even though this is a complete vehicle right here, it's not considered 1 out of the 10 that I have as far as when I pull my scan gun up. So any vehicles that you're going to want to bring over, you're going to have to take a torch, disassemble them, and put them in a storage box. That way it will make the transfer over. They said if you don't do that, it's going to remain behind when you miniaturize your base. So definitely want to watch out for that. It's also worth pointing out, this may not apply to you, but I currently have 2 bases. I have one down here in Shoal just for duraluminum and jasmium, and also quick transfers on the world, heading over to the deep desert and such. So I have to scan both of these bases before I leave. If I only did one and then I headed out, the base down in Shoal is gone. I don't have access to it anymore. I'm not on that server. I can't go to it. And this also means that I gotta hope that there's also no one on that second base spot. Otherwise, I've got no place to put it. And these rock croppings, those outcroppings down in Shoal, they're a little complicated, so placement might be an issue. The last thing I want to cover is I noticed they said that you have to be in Haga Basin when you make this transfer, but the only time I've ever transferred Sietches and such was from the world map. But I noticed that here, if you hit the escape key like you're getting ready to quit, you're going to see that there's a button off to the left that says transfer character. So you don't want to exit to main menu like you normally would. You would initiate the transfer character from this menu. I don't think it's a great idea to be in your Scoutthopter when you do it. I think you need to have everything prepared, everything in boxes, make sure all your bases are covered, cross your T's, dot your I's, and then be on the ground when you make this change. In fact, I think this would be horrible because you're supposed to scan your vehicles, and sitting in one probably would cause a problem. But that's it, guys. This is as much as I know so far about it. Am I going to transfer? No, I am not. 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm happy where I'm at. It's working out for me. Don't feel the need to transfer or transition over. And number 2, I like to use scouts there's a whole lot of people out there that are already trying this process, and some of the pitfalls that I just described to you came from their experience. And if somebody's going to show you the way, sometimes it's a good idea to just let them. But yeah, we'll have to see. But like I said, I think this is a precursor to the server mergers. But we'll have to see how it ends up. But that's it for this one. So thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you out there. Take care.